name is Steve Ono. I am the author of Canadian Guitarist, Stephen Dream, and I'm here to talk about melodic motion. From any note to the next note is a whole step or a half step within a scale. We've already gone over the idea that every other note could be a chord tone within a triad chord. And so what do we do with those non-chord tones? Well, the non-chord tones can be a neighbor note, which is literally what it says. It's the neighbor next door. There's a D, C, D. I'm on the C, I go visit the D, I come home to C. That's within a C chord context, right? If the next one would be the E, F, E, 3, 4, 3. Then a G, A, G. Da, da, da. And E, F, E down here. Okay? And those are upper neighbor notes, where you go up one half step or whole step in the scale, then come back to the original note. Now there's also lower neighbor notes. So B, C, B, C, E, D, E. I go down from E to D and then come back up to the E. I visit the D. And then G, F, G. These are all neighbor notes. So a neighbor note can either be above a chord tone or below a chord tone, and it's the next note in the scale usually. Neighbor notes could be chromatic too. Now what happens if instead of going up and coming back down, I go through it to the next note? That would be using the non-chord tone as a passing tone. C, D, E. So I'm hitting the D on the way to E. I'm treating the D as a passing tone. E, F, G. So F is a passing tone, E and G are chord tones. If I'm going from a G to a C, I've got a couple of them. I can either do the G, B, C, or G, A, C. Now, I could use both actually, but it's a little much. Now, that is ascending passing tones. Descending passing tones, from the C I have a couple of the same choices. I can either go C, A, G, or C, B, G. In either case, I'm using the A or the B as a passing tone to get between the C and the G. Now, if I'm coming down from an E, there's our three blind mice, or Mary Had a Little Lamb movement, right? 3, 2, 1. E, D, G. The D is a passing tone in between the E and the G and the C. E, D, C. G, F, E. Hey, that's the other part of Three Blind Mice, right? So here we go. We got a G, a chord tone, an F, a passing tone, and an E, a chord tone, all within the key of C. Now again, this all goes in context with the chord that surrounds those notes at that time. The root of that chord becomes the number 1. So we've got a neighbor note. I go visit a note, I come back. I got a passing tone, I hit the note on the way over to the neighbor on the other side of him. Okay? Suspensions. Suspensions are all about timing. If I play the C on a strong note, or D on a strong note. And then I release down to the C. So the D is a non-chord tone. I'm hitting it on the main beat, and then I'm releasing it. D, C. So another form of suspension, that would be the 2-to-1 suspension, D to C in the key of C. A 4-3 suspension, F to E. The 6-5 suspension, A to G. F to E again. Now, can suspensions work moving up as well, resolving higher? B, C. D, E. F, G. 4-5. So I got the 7-1, 2-3, 4-5, and the 2-3. And those are all suspensions within the C chord and the C scale. And now, anything more than a whole step or a half step is not really a neighbor note or a passing tone or a suspension. It is what is known as a melodic leap. Melodic leap. It's going past stuff. It is jumping over things. If I have a C chord, my first interval within that C leap is a third, a C to an E. Then I also have a C to a G. Well, that would be a fifth. So here's a third, and then a leap upwards of a fifth. Here's my G up a fourth to the C. Lower G up a fourth to the C. G. 4 notes. Then G to E, that is called a sixth. G, A, B, C, D, E, a sixth. A third, E to G. Same as this one up here, just lower. And E to C, lower E, middle E to C is a sixth as well. Then we have at the bottom our major third with our C and our E, and the C and G again, which is the same thing as I did at the beginning. And those are all chord tones. So if I'm just picking out notes inside of a chord, I'm already doing melodic leaps within the chord. Because a melodic leap is anything more than a second. And seconds are either whole steps or half steps. Thirds are 3 notes, fourths are 4 notes, fifths are 5 notes, sixths are 6 notes, sevenths, and then of course there's the infamous octave, which is the same note. Welcome to melodic leaps and melodic motion. And these are the basic rules that have been laid down for, a few hundred years. Johann Sebastian Bach. This is how it works. Neighbor notes, passing tones, suspensions, and melodic leaps.